August 28th, 1993. What does that have to do with Power Rangers? Stay tuned to find out. Yeah. Yeah. This is Earth Smack, the Mad Scientist, and this is the Orange Phoenix Show. And you already know what we're talking about. Power Rangers, man. Came out in 1993. Matter of fact, of August 28th, 1993. I mean, come on now. You know, as a kid, we just sitting there thinking about, okay, this is another show on the Fox Kids block. Little did we know it was going to explode into this phenomenon that is Power Rangers. It's branched off to Power Rangers movies, action figures, collectibles, little toy weapons, all this stuff, all these collectible items, and for a very good price, I might add, because people buy them and they flip them. It's so many things that we have that is Power Rangers. Now, I will have a confession before the end of this video. Okay, it may be a shock, but I'm gonna give you my reasons behind this. But I will say this thing branched off. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers branched off to the Zeo Rangers, Power Rangers Lost in Space, Lost Galaxy, Power Rangers Turbo, Ninja Rangers, you name it. There was all kinds of variations for it. And there was multiple spin-offs. I mean, of course, you got VR Troopers and you got Beetleborgs and everything else. Some people may not know that Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the stock footage, the fighting footage that we got was from a 16th, not the first, but the 16th installment of Super Sentai series. Now, if you want me to get further deeper into how Power Rangers come over and everything else, just leave a comment below and ask for that. And, you know, if I get enough people to ask for it, then I will put out a video about Power Rangers lore. But hey, we got Power Rangers Once and Always coming out April 19th, 2023. So there's been a little bit of a mixed controversy here when it came to the announcement of this 30th anniversary edition of Power Rangers, right? It's on Netflix, but there's some noticeable people that are missing from this. And I will definitely address that because I have my own thoughts and opinions on that, because sometimes we shoot ourselves in the foot, but you know, that's neither here or there. But let's get down to business here. Now, I will say, I got to get to the people that we are partnering with, and that is Your Anime Box. Now, we just recently had a partnership with Your Anime Box, and I'm telling you right now, with Your Anime Box, there's a lot of cool things here. If you go to youranimebox.com, and basically, if you click on the description below under our video, you can definitely go straight to it with these discounts. You got the Action Manga Box, 10 to 15 manga books, set, hoodie, sweatshirt, or t-shirts, one figure, free stickers, 2 to 8 action figures. We're talking $180 value for $100. Now, here's the thing that kind of interests me here. I see the premium plan here, but when it got down to the epic box plan, like $150 value for $120, 2 to 4 manga books, one figure, hoodie, sweatshirt. The good thing about this is you can customize your own personal box. And let's not forget the legendary box. The 4 to 7 manga books, 3 figures, plus free stickers, hoodie, sweatshirt, t-shirts, 8 to 10 custom genre items of your choosing, anime collab boxes. Oh, and did I mention the custom shoes? Buy Your Anime Box pre-launch sale going on. You can shop for that. I mean, for your next convention, you could be styling and profiling out here at these anime conventions with your fresh Chuck Taylors, your Naruto Chuck Taylors. Definitely out there. But hey, getting back to Power Rangers. Now, back in 1993, we was introduced to the Red Ranger, which is Austin St. John. The Black Ranger, Walter Jones. The Blue Ranger, David Yost. The Pink Ranger, Amy Jo Johnson, which that's where some of the controversy is, and that's where you got some of the toxic fan base like going after her, man. And it's why would you do it? But I would definitely explain why they did it and why it's not right. But anyway, the Pink Ranger. Now here's the last two. Obviously Twee Trang played the Yellow Ranger for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. She passed away or years ago, and it definitely did struck a chord with the Power Rangers community. And hopefully we will see a tribute to Tweed Trang, and of course the most recent passing of Jason David Frank played the Green Ranger. And let me tell you something about the Green Ranger. All right, the Green Ranger is the epitome of Black Air Force energy. You hear me? When he first was introduced in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, of course you already know you had the originals, right? But Jason, Tommy wasn't there yet. Tommy wasn't there yet. They was whipping Putty's asses. They was constantly winning. Every day, week by week by week, getting these dubs, stacking the dubs up until Rita just have the novel idea, like, you know what? I'm gonna get a Ranger of my own. I'm gonna make a Ranger of my own, and that is the Green Ranger. Hence, the Green Ranger shows up, goes one-on-one with Jason. And I mean, give Jason a run for his money. Like, putting the feet on him. You know what I mean? Putting the feet on the man. Okay, this dude might be a threat. Jason might not be the strongest person because Jason is the Red Ranger. He's the leader of the team. Now here comes the Green Ranger. Now the first time they fought, getting their ass whipped all day. The first time I saw this man go into the Megazord through the back door and whoop everybody's ass in the Zord, kicked them out of their own Zord, came out and blasted them all. I was like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. This is a lot right here. This is a lot to take in right now because the Rangers was getting their ass whooped left and right by one man, the Green Ranger. Now, of course, they prevailed, and, the Green Ranger ended up joining the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and eventually Tommy became the leader. Now, if you read the comics, which I just started recently reading, it gives a little bit more in-depth look at the Green Ranger, the complications that he had with joining the team after what he did. You got the community not liking him, not trusting him because of what he's done, and you got him at odds with Jason. Jason not too much, trusting him so much, and you got Rita in his head. It's almost like a PTSD type of thing. So whenever Tommy is by himself doing something or he's training, you got, a ghostly Rita in his ear saying, no, they're never going to accept you. You might as well come back and join me. Like, why would you come and join the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? Like, you know where you belong. Come back over to the evil side. That type of thing. That type of vibe. There was a lot of, personal struggles with, Jason's character of Tommy in the comics versus what you saw on TV. I highly encourage you guys to actually read these comics, which you can find on Comixology, by the way. Now, we got to go into some of the controversy that is, Power Rangers once and always. There's some people that are missing. Okay. And Amy Jo Johnson played the Pink Ranger, obviously, and she's been getting a lot of backlash. So I'm going to jump into it. And she actually addressed everyone through Twitter. January 18th, she said, "For the record, I never said no. I just didn't say yes to what was offered, but other fun stuff is in store. Looking forward to watching my friends kick ass. Hashtag Power Rangers 30. So basically what it was is that she simply didn't find the terms of the proposed deal to be satisfactory. She never said no. She just said no to the proposed deal. Now, if you kind of go back to it, to the people that just have an issue with Amy Jo Johnson not being there, I'm going to just be frank with you. You are a bunch of jackasses. Because at the end of the day, this is a business. So if you're not satisfied for what is offered to you, it's up to you as a company to say, hey, how about these terms? How about this deal here? It's not like she asked for millions and millions of dollars. And also, to be frank, is that not everybody is going to be in this movie. Not everybody can be in this movie. How are you going to fit all these people in this movie? Somebody's going to be missing. Somebody's not going to be satisfied. Now, I can say you probably can put in, like a Cobra Kai treatment, like a continuation of the Karate Kid. But then again, that kind of intermingles with the other lore of the Power Ranger series. So how you gonna wing that? You know, and then people gonna have questions about, is this in the continuity of Power Rangers, or is this a what if scenario? You know, you got all these questions. So I think the best move is this movie that hollers back at, you know, not only fans of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but fans of Power Rangers Zeo and Turbo and Lost in Space and Lost Galaxy and SPD and all this other stuff. So I think this is a callback to other Power Ranger shows, not just Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Even though Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is the gold standard for a lot of people, there are some other Power Ranger shows that actually storyline wise is better. It's just that the staple is the original cast members of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, to the point where you got the Power Rangers movie. And I love that movie to death. I feel like the uniforms that they had for the movie, they should have kept those uniforms and put them in the series, because, I mean, those uniforms were badass. Now, to go back to it, a lot of people are also upset at the fact that, you know, Jason David Frank is not in there. Jason David Frank is not in Once and Always, and that got people up in arms like, oh man, that's a sign of disrespect and everything else. Now, it says the 30th anniversary special will also feature the Green Ranger, though it seems he will not be portrayed by the late Jason David Frank. Now, Frank himself tragically passed away in November 2022 at the age of 49. Now, the film was prior to his death. Now, however, in May 2022, Frank confirmed that he was not involved in any Power Rangers anniversary reunion. To quote him, he says, "There is no reboot. The rumors are rumors." Frank said, "There's nothing going on. I have not heard. I don't want to cover my tattoos. I'm 49 years old. I've done enough for Power Rangers brand. I love it. But now with the situation that happened, there's certain people that won't be in the reunion. If there was, I don't know." Another Mighty Morphin Power Rangers alum who doesn't appear to be in Once and Always is Austin St. John. Of course, there was some legal troubles with him, you know, for federal fraud charges, but you can actually find him on YouTube, him and Walter Jones, basically talking about their life. Basically talking about their life. So there's some people that's going to be missing. Okay, that's not a bad thing. I know some people on the fence on what they want to receive this, but a lot of people, I've seen a lot of more positive than negative when it comes to the 30th anniversary edition of Once and Always. And I'm more on the positive side. I'm a glass half full kind of guy. I'm not going to torpedo the show because, you know, certain people are not in it. Who knows? There may be a tribute to Jason David Frank's character, and that's why it's coming out in April. Maybe they're doing some reshoots here. I mean, I hope they do a tribute to Thuy Trang. I hope they do something with her, for sure. Now, I think the last movie that Jason David Frank is going to do is not think I know. It's Legend of the White Dragon. That is his last movie, and that comes out 2023. So I mean, this is not it. So if Jason David Frank is not in Once and Always, it does not attribute to him, do not be up in arms. Do not like try to cancel this movie and because you got David Yost and Walter Jones and Steven Cardenas and you know, and all among others that are put in this hard work for this movie for the fandom. So don't torpedo this because, you know, a couple people are not in it, or they may not acknowledge it, or whatever the case may be, which I highly doubt they won't, you know, that they go out on the limb to say, hey, we're not going to acknowledge these individuals. I don't think they're going to do that. I mean, because if that's really the case, the Green Ranger won't be in it at all. Because from what I understood, from what I read for CBR.com, is that they're going to be in there. But you won't see Jason David Frank's face because, you know, he wasn't in, you know, the movie shoots. And Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, I got to go back to its phenomenon. And I don't think the actors and actresses knew how much it was going to explode. Like how much fandom they was going to garner. Like they really created a lifetime of income playing the Power Rangers. They really didn't have to do anything else. I remember seeing Walter Jones in The Shield. Now, those of you who don't know what The Shield is, that's an old cop show on FX. And you definitely need to check that out. I want to say it's on Hulu. You can actually watch the whole series on Hulu. Now, Walter Jones had a small part in The Shield, I would say in the first season going into the second season. And, his character was killed later. But it was a little strange to see him in that role because I'm looking at him and I'm seeing the Black Ranger. I'm seeing him. But if you really think about it, they really didn't have to do anything else because if I was the Power Ranger and the fandom exploded the way it did, I really wouldn't have to go out there actively seeking out because I always know I'm going to conventions. I know I'm going to be signing autographs. I know they're going to be some nostalgia movies or something or cameos or something going on. It's just, the story wrote itself. Now, in the comments below, I want to know who's your favorite Ranger because some people prefer the Red Ranger over the Green Ranger. Some people prefer the Black Ranger. Some people prefer the Pink Ranger. Some people prefer the Yellow Ranger. The phenomenon that started was people playing on the playground, pretending to be Power Rangers. When Green Ranger showed up, everybody wanted to be the Green Ranger. Nobody wanted to be anything else, whatever the case may be. And then you got the Power Rangers movie come out. And then, I have a friend, shout out to Will. He is a huge Power Rangers collector. Hopefully we can do a video on that at some point and kind of like show his collection. I mean, my collection is very, very, very minimal because obviously you can see in the background, there's a lot of Tommy stuff that is out there. But to the cancel culture, man, to the people that just so quick to, to cancel out this show. I mean, stop being jackasses, man. Sometimes just enjoy things for what it is. I know I'm going to enjoy this and I'm going to be like a kid again. Not everything's going to be 100% to your satisfaction, but that's not, don't ruin it for other people. Don't do that. Because sometimes in our geek culture, in our nerd culture, there is a certain group of people that are very, very toxic. I know some of Star Wars fandom is toxic. Some anime fandom is toxic. And some of the Power Rangers fandom is toxic. But let's not do that. Let's not do that. And now, before I jump into it, we got to jump into some more sponsors here. And that is TeePublic. Now, TeePublic, we've been with them for a very, very long time. And now with TeePublic, we got stuff out here for hoodies, crew neck sweatshirts, kids t-shirts, kids hoodies, kids long sleeve t-shirts, onesies for the little kids. We got mugs, we got masks, wall art, and notebooks. Now, this is the hoodie collection, and we do update this every 2 weeks. Now, obviously, Chainsaw Man is there, and as you can see, there's some Power Rangers stuff, some hoodies right here, and at least once or twice a month, we do have 35% off sales. So, obviously, I'm gonna get this hoodie right here. Now, this is one of my favorite hoodies, and I'm going to definitely knock that out. Now, also, we got some anime stuff, all geekdom gear. All geekdom gear. And we do update that every 2 weeks. So, I mean, I just can't wait for Power Rangers. I really can't wait. That makes me want to go back and rewatch some of some of my favorite moments in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I think everybody's favorite moment is when the Green Ranger appeared, and then, it left shock and awe for the kids, because like, wait a minute, are the Power Rangers going to survive? And you already know the Power Rangers are always going to prevail. Now for my confession. Turbo, a Power Rangers movie. Never seen it. Never seen it. And I know people in the comments going to be like, what? You didn't see Turbo, a Power Rangers movie? You know what? I really wasn't really too hype about it. It was something about a little kid. Now, that probably was a selling point. I will say that. That probably was a selling point, that a little kid actually became a Power Ranger, because when he transformed, you kind of see him grew up a little bit. That was a selling point. But that was something that really didn't interest me. You know, Power Rangers the movie with Ivan Ooze, that is always going to be the gold standard for me. And that is a lot of people gold standards. So I hope that all the success with Once and Always. Now, who knows? This may kickstart people that want to come back to play the role of Power Rangers. Maybe there's might be a little off series here for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Maybe we'll see like the comic book version of Power Rangers on the screen. Because let's talk about this for a second. The comic book series of Power Rangers is phenomenal. Well done. Well done. I mean, there's some consequences in these comics. Like this, it's not like, yeah, we're gonna beat these putties and it's over with. You know, there is potential death. You know what I'm saying? Like there's some casualties. There's gonna be some casualties here. You know what I'm saying? It's not like gory or anything like that, anything of that nature. But I feel like the comic book story of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and the TV version of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers are a night and day difference. And if you want to make a movie of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, definitely use the comic books all day from start to finish, because this can create a franchise that could rival the MCU. And I know people gonna be like, oh, wait, you can't conquer the MCU because it's Disney. Disney is a juggernaut. But the Power Rangers fandom is too. I mean, you got Power Rangers conventions and stuff like that, and tell me how that's not possible. And going up against Disney when it comes to the Power Rangers movies, if you still have people from the show being booked for these conventions. Like you can easily stem from the comics. You can easily do that. Now, I know they did a Power Rangers movie like a few years ago, and it really didn't do that well. It did have, some dark elements to it, which that honestly, that's from, I wouldn't say that's directly from the comic or whatever the case may be, but it definitely left a little dark taste there. I wasn't a big fan of the uniforms. The new uniforms I really wasn't a fan of. I'll say that they could have just went to the original. I know there's some licensing issues, man. You should just use the original uniforms, man. Just put it on. Just obviously, this is a made up word. Movieize it, where you can just alter the uniforms a little bit to make them look up to date or whatever, but just use that storyline from the comics, man. It's right there. It's right in front of you. It's almost like with DC. You got the comics, you got the lore, you got everything at your disposal. Like, why are you not talking to the writers of this animated movies that done phenomenally well and make them writers for live action series? I mean, it's right there in front of you. And I know people want to put their own personal stamp on a franchise, but sometimes that can shoot you in the foot. And also, and speaking of shooting ourselves in the foot, is that with our fandom, to the fandom of Power Rangers, to the fandom of Star Wars, and to the fandom of all courses of anime, don't shoot yourselves in the foot for being toxic. Don't do that. Don't do that, man, because we've been getting a lot of content ending in 2022, jumping into 2023. I mean, we got all these announcements. That's why I always love this time of year. I always love the new year, because we get all these announcements of new stuff. I mean, hell, we even got Cobra Kai, the final season, coming out this year. Now, this is a bittersweet moment for me because I'm a huge Cobra Kai fan. But obviously, I already knew it had to end. Like, this has to be the final season. I mean, there's a lot of loose ends that got tied up, and I think the final loose end will get tied up in, Cobra Kai. But I'm very excited. Now, if you really do enjoy this YouTube channel, do not forget to subscribe, which is on the bottom right corner of this video. All right. Again, I am Earth Mac, the Mad Scientist, and I will be back to see you in a few days with some more geekdom goodness and some more nerd opinions. So until next time, y'all, peace.